Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Candace. I'm Candace and we're going to be conversing today. I achieved this look with 100% drugstore makeup. And by drugstore, I mean Walgreens, Target, CVS. And I actually went in the makeup section of Bed Bath & Beyond and they had a bunch of stuff for 75% off. So I consider that drugstore as well because, if you get a palette for $2, you're winning. So let me show you the new items that I added to what I already had, and then I'll show you the video. The first thing is the Black Radiance True Complexion 3D Highlighter Palette. This is what it looks like. I got this at Target, and I was just walking to the back to grab something else, and I saw this, and they have some wonderful shades: Vacation, First Class, and Paradise. I actually used 2 of these 3 shades in the video. The next thing I want to show you is the Maybelline FitMe Loose Finishing Powder in Dark. I use this twice in the video. I really like it to set my primer as well as set my makeup. And then the Maybelline City Mini palette. It's an eyeshadow palette that I use for eyeshadow and contour. It is in conjunction with Makeup Shayla, who's wonderful. Here's the palette. There's a bunch of different ones. I think there's 4. And the last thing that I got at Bed Bath & Beyond is this e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I was a little unsure. I wasn't sure if it was going to be ashy or not. So I only used the contour shades, but I did swatch the colors. As I'm trying to get this open, like it's not opening for me, but I did use it in the video. Here we go. And here's what the colors look like. I swatched them last night as well as in the video, and I'll put the swatches here too. But those are the 4 new things that I got that are drugstore. I didn't pay more than I think like $6 for any of these things, maybe $8, but just these 4 things, amazing. Like, oh, last thing, my Maybelline Superstay makeup. So I've used FitMe, but this is completely full coverage. You're gonna see in the video. So I'm gonna stop rambling. Just watch the video. So exciting. I start my makeup off with 2 different primers. Both of them are from e.l.f. One is a lotion type of primer and the other one is a priming mist. I like them both because the lotion one feels velvety and smooth, and then the priming mist is an oil like controller. It really works well, and I feel like putting them together is really going to help keep my oils at bay. I use the lotion first, and then I go for the mist. Up next, I'm using my Maybelline FitMe Loose Finishing Powder to set my primer, and it's going to also block the oils from coming through my foundation. This is the color Dark. There's also a deep that's a little bit lighter than this, but I feel like it doesn't really matter what color it is because it'll be underneath your foundation anyway. Plus, this dark one matches my skin and it gives me another layer of coverage, and then that way I don't have to color correct today. Next, I'm doing my eyebrows, and I'm using an eyebrow pencil with a spoolie on it, as well as an eyebrow pomade. I feel like using both of them helps me fill in my brows a little bit better. I'm not very good at it, but I've learned that carving it out with the concealer afterwards really makes it seem like my brows are done better than they really are. So I'm using the pomade first, and then I'll kind of fill in with the pencil. That way it'll just be a light fill in. I'm now going in with my Hr Camo Concealer. This is thick. I really like it. I could have thinned it out a little bit with some Fix Plus, but I actually like how thick this is. It helps to cover up the hairs around my eyebrows that I have not gotten plucked or waxed in a long time. It is perfect for concealing what you want it to conceal. So I'm just carving out my brows as best as I can. This part really does make it seem like my brows are filled in better than they really are. And while I have the concealer on my eyelid, I'm just dragging it down so I have a smooth base for my eyeshadow. It is important though to have a smooth base, to use a beauty blender to kind of soak up any extra concealer that doesn't need to be on my face. It's still a thick base and it still is going to be great when I put my shadow on it, but the damp beauty blender just somehow knows how to take up what needs to be taken up and leave what needs to be left. So I'm continuing the process on my left eye, and I'm also going to go ahead and do it on the top as well. If you don't want the halo eyebrow look, you can do this with your foundation or a darker concealer. This concealer is only about 2 shades lighter than me, so I really wasn't worried about it. Plus, I'm going to put foundation on top of it, so it's not going to look like my eyebrows are floating off my face. Now on to eyeshadow. I am using the Maybelline City Mini palette in conjunction with Makeup Shayla. This is the number 460, and I'm going to go in with that brown color, and I'm going to put that in my crease as well as in my outer V. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, and with the concealer, it really makes that brown pop. This palette was probably the most neutral of the palettes, which is great for going to work, or just going out for the day and not really needing to pop but still wanting to look fresh and awake. After the brown, I go in with the purplish like maroon color, and it is a little bit of a shimmer, and I'm putting that in my inner corner as well as on my lid. I am not doing like a cut crease or anything of that nature because it's just a look for work. Here's how it looks on my picture. I know that on my camera, sometimes it does not show up the colors that I really want it to show. Next, I'm going in with the gold color. I wasn't sure which gold I wanted to use because there are 2, and I'm just putting that gold on top of the purple just to give it a little pop. The purple was a shimmer, but this gold is a little more of a shimmer. I realized that because it is still neutral, it won't be too dressy for the day. Then I'm using my Infallible eyeliner. This is a 16-hour eyeliner. It is waterproof, I think. And I'm just lining my top lid. I really like this liner because it does have a smudge brush too, if you want to smudge it and kind of like smoke out your eye. I didn't really need to do that. I just needed something to go underneath my falsies. So I just used that black liner. And then what I did was to deepen the liner a little bit, I used the black from that palette. I really wanted to get the most out of the palette. It's super cute. And I think it was $8, maybe $9. So I figure if I can get the most out of this palette, especially with it being small, like that's perfect. Then I'm using my Maybelline Pushup Falsies mascara just to get some of the fallout from the eyeshadow off my lashes. And then I will be putting on my Kiss lashes. I have finally learned how to do strip lashes, and I realized I needed to let the glue dry down almost completely before putting them on. So that's what I did. I blew the glue a little bit so it can get tacky, and then I laid it on top of my real lashes and stuck it to my lid. This is the easiest application ever. And by the way, I'm using Kiss strip lash adhesive as well. Onto my Maybelline Superstay foundation. This is the color Coconut. This is the same color that I use in Maybelline Fit Me. It is thick and it is full coverage. This foundation, to me, is better than Maybelline Fit Me solely because it has a pump. The pump is so clutch. So I will be using this a lot more than the Fit Me. I'm using my NYX setting spray. It's the matte finish setting spray, and I'm using it while putting on foundation to achieve that matte look for sure. Then I'm going in with my Hr Camo Concealer, and I am putting that under my eyes to highlight, as well as down the bridge of my nose. This was an awesome time to try the e.l.f. contour palette. That lightest color is pretty yellow, but I felt like I did it on top of the other concealer, it would just blend in. It would blend in with that lighter color, but not be too light. And that's exactly what happened. I feel like if I had used it by itself, it may have been a little bit ashy, but blending it in with the liquid was perfect. I'm using a damp beauty blender to blend it in underneath my eyes. If I had let it set a little bit longer, I probably would have gotten more coverage, but this is just a daytime look and I didn't really anticipate sweating or being outside or anything of that nature. This setting powder is the Spun powder, and it is kind of controversial among darker skinned women. I've been told that it's not for black women, it's going to leave you ashy, but what I find is if you don't use a lot and you actually press it into your skin, it works out fine. Also, if you have yellow undertones, it is okay as well. It comes off a little bit yellow on the skin. It's supposed to be translucent, but no translucent powder is truly translucent. They all have a little bit of color that comes off with them. I'm going in with my Maybelline loose powder, the darker color, and wiping off the Spun. That's another way to make sure that I won't look ashy if I take a picture or if I'm out in the light. Then I'm using some Spun just to chisel out my cheek to kind of make me look a little snatched, not too much, just a little bit. I decided to use that City Mini palette to contour. I'm using the brown. It's a little deeper than my skin tone, so I am contouring my cheeks. I'm going to go up my temples a little bit, as well as along my hairline, and that's just going to kind of give me like a shadow effect. That's going to make my cheekbones look like they're higher. It's going to make my face look a little bit smaller. I have a round face, so this is very helpful. Now I'm using my Black Radiance highlighter palette. I'm using two colors in this palette. I really enjoyed the Paradise and First Class of this palette. One of the last few things that I do is finish up my under eye. I use that black liner and then I go in with the black eyeshadow and smudge it out just a little bit. I got this lip liner from the beauty supply store. It was like $1.99. It's a dark brown. I don't use it a lot because I need to get a pencil sharpener, but it's a great brown liner to put on with light or dark colored lipstick. I'm using a second liner. That was actually an eyeliner just to deepen that brown because I need to sharpen the other one. Then I'm using my Milani lipstick in Uptown Mauve. It's a really fun color. I kind of wish it was a matte color, but it's not. But it glides on really, really smoothly and it blends well with the brown liner. Then I'm adding some gloss from the hair supply store. It was $1 as well. That adds a little bit of shine to my lips, but not too much. Then I'm using my Maybelline FitMe pressed powder in the color 362 to just blend all of my face colors and contour together. The last thing I'm going to do is set my face with my NYX matte setting spray. And then the actual last thing that I'm going to do is use the gold that's in the City Mini palette and highlight my nose as well as my upper lip. And that's it, guys. That is the completed look. It is actually a really easy look to get, and it's not expensive because everything comes from the drugstore, and the palettes that I use can be used for face as well as eyes. I really truly believe in saving money that way, and these products will get you there. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this episode. If you have any questions, let me know. Until next time, have a good day.